New deaths from coronavirus, but there's been another dip in new cases with slightly more than 2,600 reported in mainland China. In the meantime, the State Department's preparing to evacuate hundreds of Americans who have been stranded aboard a cruise ship.
As the U.S. government prepares to evacuate hundreds of Americans from that quarantine cruise ship in Japan, comes word from the Japanese health minister that the number of people aboard the ship testing positive for the coronavirus now stands at 355. Picking up the story, correspondent Deborah Patton.
On Sunday, Americans on board the ship wishing to be evacuated will be taken by bus to a U.S. chartered plane, but before boarding, they will undergo a health screening. Symptomatic passengers may not be allowed to fly.
Attorney Matt Smith and his wife have been on that ship for nearly a month and do not wish to take part.
My government has succeeded in making me feel like a pariah.
His reason for feeling that way?
The U.S. government has said, oh, you're on board that ship, well, you're unclean, so we've got to lock you up, and we don't trust the Japanese to have conducted a proper quarantine.
I'm Tom Foley.
That chartered flight is expected to make a stop at Travis Air Force Base in Northern California. Some of the passengers expected to continue on to Lackland Air Force Base in Texas. Like previous flights, the passengers will be quarantined for 2 weeks and monitored for any symptoms of coronavirus. Princess Cruises, which owns the ships that's been quarantined off the coast of Japan, has canceled additional Asia trips on Sapphire Princess and Majestic Princess Cruises because of port closures and restrictions in Southeast Asia. At least 4 rockets fired by Iraqi militants overnight wound up landing near the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad at a nearby military base where some American troops are based. Both U.S. and Iraqi officials say there were no casualties and the rockets caused only minor damages. The Iraqi security officials say 2 of the rockets actually fell inside the embassy compound without hitting any buildings, but that has not been confirmed. It was one of the highest profile terrorism cases post 9/11, and now federal prosecutors say they will not pursue charges against a Central Valley man who had been linked to a purported Al-Qaeda sleeper cell in California. Hamid Hawat was freed from prison last year after completing more than half his sentence on charges of providing material support to terrorists and lying to FBI agents. The judge in the case overturned his conviction, saying he hadn't received a proper defense trial. Executive Director of the Sacramento Valley Office on the Council on American-Islamic Relations tells CBS 13 the entire Muslim community is impacted.
This was still hanging over his head, you know, since being released, not knowing what's going to happen, and now he can move forward with his life.
Prosecutors could have appealed the judge's decision or asked for a new trial, but instead they filed a brief motion to dismiss the case. A cascade of scandals in the Catholic Church has had surprisingly little impact on enrollment in its American seminaries, though the number of seminarians is down from a half-century ago. It's held relatively steady the past decade and even registered slight increases in the past few years. At St. Charles Borromeo Seminary outside Philadelphia, though the clergy abuse crisis isn't a constant topic of discussion, students say they know they'll be ministering to a flock that has been fractured by crimes in the church alongside broader societal secularization. Future priests say they can be the examples to restore the public's faith in the church. Volunteer firefighters risk their own lives to save the lives of others, and they do it without getting paid. However, in Tennessee, there is a shortage of volunteer firefighters. Reporter Chris Davis spoke with Amber Fox about some of the hardships she's facing.
Just the adrenaline and being able to go and help somebody that's in need.
You might think firefighters like Amber are worth every penny, but as a volunteer, she doesn't even make one.
Coming in and being able to do this for free is incredibly difficult, and so it's just a challenge to recruit people in general.
By day, she's a store manager at Subway.
I work anywhere from 50 to 60, 70 hours a week.
By night, she's a mother of a 7-year-old. Any spare time is spent right here.
Trying to juggle everything is a bit of a struggle.
But selfless servants like Amber are becoming difficult to find.
And Fox is a volunteer at the Nolensville Fire Department. The chiefs there say the best way to recruit is to find other adrenaline junkies like her. Beyond that, hopes to expand the number of stipends he can pay volunteers. Got a problem on the 405 North and the Sepulveda Pass. That story is coming up in 4 minutes at 6:41.
Did you get your assets kicked by the '08 recession? If so, the next one's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If you're fed up with getting only 2 to 3% return on your CD, money market, or bond fund, here's a way to earn 10 to 12% with no market risk of any kind. Call 800-788-1000. Reliant Capital. They'll explain how you can get the returns Warren Buffett's been earning for years, 10 to 12%. And it's eligible for an IRA or 401k rollover. Reliant Capital. Call 800-788-1000 for your free brochure.
Will you outlive your money? Will your savings or investments earn you enough to retire? If you're only getting 2 to 3% return on your money market, CD, or bond fund, chances are they won't. But now you can get a 10 to 12% return with no market risk. It's how smart investors have been earning double-digit returns for years. Call Reliant Capital, 800-788-1000. Reliant's clients know one of the best-kept investment secrets, and it's eligible for an IRA or 401k rollover. Call for your free brochure, 800-788-1000.
Pop quiz. If you sell a home for $500,000, how much would a traditional real estate agent charge in commission? If you guessed $25,000 to $30,000, you're right. But if you think that's the only way, you're wrong. This is why thousands of homeowners are making the switch to Rex. With Rex, you get a dedicated agent and a full-service experience at a fraction of the cost. Rex uses game-changing technology to cut out the middleman and save homeowners tens of thousands of dollars in fees. Remember, this is your home. Why give an insane amount of equity away to an agent? Rex offers the lowest fee in the industry without skimping on service. You'll work with an experienced real estate team with you every step of the way. Get the most out of your home. See if you qualify by calling 833-REX-HOME. 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-REX